All right, let's talk about AI. If you've ever felt like your head is spinning with all the buzzwords, you are definitely not alone. AI, ML, GenAI, it's a total alphabet soup, right? Well, today, we're going to clear all that up. We're going to build a really simple map so you can see exactly how everything fits together.
So, let's just dive right into the big question here. You hear these terms everywhere: AI, machine learning, deep learning, and now, of course, generative AI. They're all over the place. But what's the real difference? Are they all the same thing? Not quite. Let's peel back the layers.
Okay, first things first. We have to start at the very top. The big idea, the grand vision that started this whole journey in the first place: artificial intelligence.
So think of AI as the giant umbrella that covers everything else. It's not one specific thing, it's the whole big, ambitious goal of making machines smart. We're talking about creating systems that can do stuff that usually, well, takes a human brain. You know, things like playing a complex game like chess, understanding what you're saying, or even something as simple as looking at a photo and knowing, hey, that's a cat.
So yeah, that's the big picture. Artificial intelligence is the whole universe. Everything else we're about to talk about lives inside of it.
Okay, so if AI is the big dream, the what, then the next question is, how? How did we actually start to make this dream a reality? Well, that brings us to our next layer, and this was a truly revolutionary idea.
And that idea is machine learning, or ML. This is a specific way to achieve AI. And here's the key part. Instead of a programmer sitting down and writing millions of rules by hand for every single possibility, we kind of flipped the script. We said, what if we just show the computer a ton of examples and let it figure out the rules on its own? It's all about learning from data.
So you can see, machine learning isn't some competitor to AI. Nope, it's a huge, super important part of AI. It lives right inside that big AI universe we talked about. Honestly, it's the main way we build most smart systems today.
And this slide really shows you why it's such a big deal. The old way, traditional programming, was all about writing explicit rules. A person had to literally type, if an email has the words free money, then it's spam. You'd have to think of every single rule. But with machine learning, nah. You just feed it thousands of good emails and thousands of spam emails, and the machine itself learns what spam looks like. It finds the patterns we might not even see. It's a total game changer, for real.
All right, so machine learning was this massive breakthrough, but it wasn't perfect, especially when it came to really complex, messy stuff from the real world, like understanding images or human speech. For those kinds of problems, we had to dig even deeper.
And that's where deep learning, or DL, comes in. Think of it as a supercharged, really powerful version of machine learning. Now, why deep? It's because its structure has many, many layers, and these layers let it learn way more complex and subtle patterns in data, stuff that regular machine learning would just miss.
And boom, there's our full picture. The absolute best way to remember this is to think of Russian nesting dolls. You have the biggest doll, that's AI. You opened it up, and inside is machine learning. And you open that one up, and inside is deep learning. Each one is a more specialized part of the one before it.
So what's the secret sauce that makes deep learning so powerful? Well, it's something called neural networks. And yeah, the name gives it away. They are literally inspired by the human brain. They're built with these interconnected nodes, kind of like our neurons, that process information together. Let me break down how it works, really simply. Okay, so first you give the network some data, say a picture of a dog. That picture goes in one end. Then it travels through all these hidden layers of neurons in the middle. This is where the magic happens. It's where the network figures out things like, oh, that's a floppy ear, or that's a snout. And then out the other end comes the output, the word dog. It's in those hidden layers that all the deep part of the learning actually happens.
Okay, so we've got our nesting dolls: AI, ML, and DL. That's the how. But what about the what? What can this stuff actually do for us in the real world? Let's check out some of the amazing abilities that are built on this tech. Abilities you probably use every single day. First up, let's talk about language. That's where natural language processing, or NLP, comes in. This is basically the branch of AI that's all about teaching computers to understand and use human language, whether it's written text or you speaking out loud. It's what gives machines ears and a mouth. And yeah, it often uses deep learning to get the job done.
And trust me, you use this constantly. Every time you ask your phone for the weather, or use Google Translate, or even argue with a customer service chatbot, you're using NLP. It's all around us.
So if NLP gives computers ears, computer vision gives them eyes. It's the exact same idea, but for images and videos. It's all about training AI to see and understand the visual world, kind of like how we do.
And again, this tech is everywhere. Your phone unlocking with your face, that's computer vision. Social media suggesting who to tag in a photo. Yep, that too. And of course, a self-driving car spotting a pedestrian. That's a really, really important use of computer vision.
Okay, we've covered learning, seeing, and speaking. But now it's time for the one that's been making all the headlines lately. The next big step, moving from just understanding the world to actually creating new things in it. And here it is, Generative AI, or Gen AI. This is different. The AI we talked about before is mostly about analyzing or classifying things that already exist. But Generative AI, it makes brand new stuff. It soaks up patterns from massive amounts of data, like the entire internet, and then uses that knowledge to generate something completely original.
And what it can create is just wow. It can write you an email, a story, a poem. It can generate a stunningly realistic image from just a few words of text. It can write actual, working computer code. It can even compose music. You see the pattern here? It's a creator, not just an analyst.
All right, let's put it all together one last time. Super simple. AI, the big dream of smart machines. Machine learning, the way we do it, by learning from data. Deep learning, the superpowered technique using a brain. And generative AI, the newest skill, creating something from scratch. Simple as that.
You know, when you step back and look at the whole journey, it's kind of amazing. We went from this far-off science fiction idea of a smart machine to actually building systems that can learn, see, speak, and now even create. It's been an incredible ride.
And that really leaves us with one big important question, doesn't it? We've built these incredibly powerful tools. They can learn and they can create. So the real question for us now is, what should we teach them next? What challenges should we point them at? That's where things get really interesting. Thanks for joining me on this breakdown.